Hey everybody, it's Matt from Made Up Movies. This is Mike Kolar.
Hey, from Made Up Movies, it's Mike Kolar.
And we are here to talk to you about our new Patreon page. We could really use your help getting some support for making this podcast. For $5 a month on our Patreon page, you get bonus episodes, a whole bunch of extra content, and lots of cool interactions with us. What's not to love?
What's not to love? There's a higher tier if you want to donate more and get your episode made immediately, but for $5, you get a lot.
Yeah, a ton of stuff. So check out patreon.com/madeupmoviespod, or you can find that link on our Twitter at madeupmoviespod. And yeah, $5 a month, a bunch of extra content. It's yours. Check it out. Made Up Movies Patreon. Thank you. Y'all hear that?
Made up movies, made up movies.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, made up movies, made up movies. Yeah, 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 yeah. Made up movies.
Movies in your face now. Come and get an earful.
Made up movies, made up movies.
Hello and welcome to Made Up Movies. I'm your host, Mike Kohler. With me, as always, is the Freddy Krueger to my Michael Myers, Matt Shore. Hey, how's it going? Hey, Matt Shore.
No, your name is Michael Kolar, not Michael Myers.
No, I was doing the intro to the show where we compare each other to...
Hi, I'm Matt Shore, and welcome to Bunker Brothers.
Oh, boy.
Today, we're going to be talking about video games and who plays them.
First of all, that
This
was
guy.
not... that was never about the bunker. That's beside the point.
It was never about John Connor, me. It was always about your father, new character we introduced. That's my impression of Terminator 3, retconning
That's a good...
the entire...
That's good. So it's spooky Halloween time here at Made Up Movies.
That's why I brought up Terminator, not because I just felt like it.
I mean, that it is a terrifyingly bad movie, so that's not...
Wow!
I'm sorry, it is.
Oh, 3.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
3.
A vast majority of them.
Yeah.
Besides the first two.
First two are
Much
cool.
like Shrek. Eat it, Zoomers.
Whoa. That's not cool, man. You shouldn't make the Zoomers eat it on Halloween.
Stick to She-Hulk, Zoomers.
Is that what the Zoomers like? Is She-Hulk?
No, the only Zoomer I know is Smash Trivia.
Oh. Does he like She-Hulk? Oh, wait, he loves She-Hulk.
Oh, does he ever?
Oh
my God.
I turned She-Hulk on as a bit for my friend who was coming over the other day because he doesn't like She-Hulk. And then
She-Hulk turned Smash Trivia on, if you know what I mean.
And then I started to I did it as a bit, and then I started to like it. So jokes.
I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it's
fine.
good.
It's
I
fine.
like Tatiana Maslany a lot. I liked Orphan Black until it became untenable.
Yeah.
I especially liked how much on Orphan Black, what's obviously like somewhere in Ontario doubles for American cities all the time.
That's
It's
fun.
just like so aggressively Canadian everywhere they shot.
Just Canadian flags everywhere.
Yeah,
Maple leaves.
we keep being pulled over by Mounties. I don't understand how this keeps happening.
Hey, where you going so fast there, huh? Slow down, eh? Going a little too fast there, you little orphan.
What Kolar refuses to tell the audience,
Okay.
aka you at home, is that it's Halloween now.
Literally
it's the
said
month
that.
of Halloween.
I literally said that.
And yeah, that means we're going to be doing special horror-themed episodes.
All horrors,
And,
all the time.
Yeah, as many horrors as you can fit inside a horror house.
How many horrors? I feel like I'm not saying it
best
right.
little horror house in Texas.
Horror.
I'll tell you who's the real horror of Texas is that Ted Cruz.
Whoa. Oh, is that?
Hey, remember to edit in a sound effect where it goes. Is
Is that a note to yourself? I thought you were gonna edit in clapping and cheering.
Wait, is that what they did on our new favorite show? I'm pretty sure they did. I'm pretty sure they do that same bit.
She-Hulk?
No, they added in twerking.
Oh, I'm offended by that.
I'm offended by that. You know what color I think the Little Mermaid should be? Red. I'm talking about her hair, of
Red,
course.
like a fish, like a clown fish.
So instead of a pointless ramble,
No.
what were we trying to say the show's about? The show's about you send in fake movie ideas and we review them like they're real by going to the other dimension where these movies actually exist.
Yes.
But it's Halloween. It's Halloween, and I heard that you painstakingly prepared a very intricate and complicated opening bit for us. So go ahead.
Where did you hear Where did you hear that? Where did you hear that?
I believe we spent 45 minutes of you hyping it up prior to this recording. So let's go ahead. Everyone, set your expectations sky high for Kolar's and not mine, as I had nothing to do with it. Amazing comedy bit.
It wasn't going to be a bit. It's a simple discussion of what scares you. What are you afraid of? Just because it's Halloween, so I thought we could talk about like what are you actually afraid of? What are you scared of?
Is that it?
That's the bit. Yeah. Is that okay? You sort of not to lean too much, not to peer too much behind the curtain, but you sort of said that was fine right before we did this.
Wow, that's not what happened. It's weird that you were gonna gaslight the audience.
Sort of like
I said, Kolar, I can't wait to hear. You said specifically, I have a bit that's gonna take about 45 minutes to explain. So then you launched into it, and it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard. Right. And now you're throwing me under the bus.
I feel like I'm
gaslighting is better.
I feel like you're really good at gaslighting, and it's getting a little much. It's a little much at this point.
I'm not good at gaslighting because I've never gaslit in my life.
Okay.
Kolar, who escaped from an insane asylum, often says things like that.
You know what scares me? Your ability to gaslight on a whim like this. It's scary.
Well, I did. Well, I was about to throw someone under the bus. So I'm not going to do it. I was going to say I did learn from the best, but in case she ever listens to the pod...
then name that person?
Yeah, and then name that person. But in case she ever listens to the pod, no, you were always great.
Take that, Mom. Great. Take that.
Yikes.
So
okay.
Is that okay? Is it okay? What scares you? What scares you?
Well, is this a real question, or is one of your trademark
let's say what scares you in reality, and then what scares you as in like a horror movie sense. Like what's your scariest monster?
Like if I'm watching, you just prompted me. It's a hard question.
Yeah.
It's a hard question. I've spent so much time gaslighting. Not gaslighting that scares me. Not being able to finally get to have someone litigate all the times I've gaslit you on this show.
Oh, to be called out for your gaslighting? That's what scares you.
Yeah, that terrifies me. You don't understand how hard I would have to gaslight to get out of that.
Yeah. It's almost like it only causes more problems instead of solving problems.
Wow, that is not true. It only solves problems. That's what the president said.
Okay.
So, but if I'm being honest, when it comes to scary horror movies, when people get eaten by other people in movies.
So zombies.
Yeah, but like it's a specific thing. It's not every like if a zombie bites someone on the shoulder in a movie and then they get swarmed and pulled under, I'm like, okay, whatever. But you know that scene in Shaun of the Dead where the nerdy guy gets taken out the window and they rip open his guts
him apart?
Yeah, that's like to me one of the most shocking and gross things I've seen in a movie because it's such a well done effect.
Yeah.
And like that grosses me out a lot more. But I don't know. I remember seeing Hannibal in theaters at a time when I probably shouldn't have seen it, like
too young,
when it came out.
Yeah.
And that scene where he like opens the guy's scalp up at the dinner table and like eats it, like cooks it on the table.
That's cool.
Like cannibal stuff in general, like the more gross it is, that really...
You're not a fan of your fetish isn't vor. Then you're not a fan of vor.
I mean, do you mean the character Vorzet?
No, vor is where you want to be where you want to be eaten and it brings you sexual pleasure to be eaten. Like,
is that what vor is?
Yeah.
Even you saying that kind of turned my stomach.
Yeah, it's a terrible, gross thing.
There's a Simpsons, a recent Treehouse of Horror, where Homer slowly cuts himself up and eats himself.
Oh, yeah. You told me about that.
And that grossed me out so much.
Yeah. He's just slowly eating himself.
Me.
It's pretty gross.
Yeah.
It's pretty gross for a
like
Simpsons.
in a non-cartoony way, just like slow. It like that grosses me out more than most horror stuff.
Okay.
don't file that away for anything.
Nah, that's fine. It's just a little check mark next to what is you don't like. Well,
Yeah. Now I'm starting to regret all the gaslighting.
yeah, well, you should. Somebody can only be gaslit so long before they make their friend eat themselves.
No, if it was me eating myself, I'd be fine with it.
Okay.
Because I don't have to watch it.
Oh, okay.
I'll be blindfolded, and I assume it'll be a taste test. Wait a minute. Is that Bill Cosby I'm eating? No, it's me. Damn.
Oh, man. Why do I taste like Bill Cosby?
I was hoping I was eating Bill Cosby because that would be, appropriate punishment for his crimes.
Being eaten
But,
alive?
yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, that seems fair. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel like by rats would be better, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, as much as I like the idea of chainsawing people in half, eating them, I don't like.
Interesting. Okay.
So
you don't like
body
body
I was gonna
horror
say
stuff.
like I don't mind. Like I like Videodrome, and I like
okay.
the
It's just
Thing.
the one specific thing of being. I get it.
Like that scene in The Thing where the guy's chest cavity bites the other guy's hands.
Yeah.
Like
cool.
that doesn't bother me. I think that's awesome. But if it's like if it feels like it's a real person eating another real person,
That's what you don't like. I get that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why. Like
Well,
I guess like Sweeney Todd doesn't
because
bother
you're a
me,
coward.
but
Because you're a filthy coward.
I refuse to eat other people.
Yeah, that makes you a coward.
I'm scared of how much I want to eat you.
Oh,
I think is the thing.
that's what it is.
Yeah, it's just like I know once you pop, the fun don't stop. It's like that Sunny.
Where they eat people.
It's like that. Yeah.
They get a taste
Human
for
meat.
it. They get a taste
Yeah,
for it,
right.
and they can't stop. That's cool.
So, is there anything in horror movies that you don't like? Because you watch horror movies all the time.
Nothing bothers me. The only thing I'm scared of is death in reality. But that's not.
Wait, without going into it though, you did tell me that one horrible horror movie.
Oh yeah, a Serbian film.
But that didn't
scare me as
Serbian
much
film.
as. But that's not so necessarily like. I mean, it's a horror movie, but it's more like a. What is it?
an unsettling.
No, it's like what's the movie where they like kill people on screen? What's that called?
A snuff film.
It's just a snuff film. Yeah, it's a fictional snuff film. So it's like where there's I don't necessarily like movies like that where it's like there is no reason for it to exist outside of like shock.
upsetting. It's
trying to be
intentionally just upsetting.
Right. There's not necessarily if there's a plot, it doesn't matter. They're just trying to upset you. I don't like that. Also, I don't like. I mean, as far as monsters go, I think like the Ring, Little Dead Japanese Girls scare me a lot. But that's mostly.
I dated that one time
in
when we
Bunker
lived in
Brothers.
that bunker, and yeah, you did not like
Those
that.
always dead kids.
Check out the very funny, edited by Kolar, Bunker Brothers Halloween special on our old podcast for me dating a Japanese undead ghost.
Dead ghosts, dead like child ghosts creep me out. Those are like
Dead ghosts are the scariest.
no dead. Yeah, that's the dumbest thing I've ever said. No, children, ghosts of children like creep me out. I don't know why.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
spooky little kids. But I like that.
I like it, but I'm saying like as far as like movies that actually bother me go, that's where it's like, and also like cutting like. You remember in Jackass when they cut like their like the inside of their fingers with like paper cut? Like
right, yeah,
very specific weird cuts like that actually bother me too. Like I can't even watch that.
Right, because that's like possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's like ugh.
But for the most part, nothing in horror bothers me anymore. I guess I'm just too desensitized. So
well, you've seen basically everything.
I've seen
and there's a lot
everything.
of new ones that came out. Have you gone to the theaters to see like Barbarian and what's that
Pearl?
one? X
No, I haven't
or
seen
whatever?
those yet. No, I will see those soon.
I've heard all those are really good, but I haven't gotten a chance. I haven't seen anything recently in theaters. But yeah, I don't know. In real life, I don't know. I mean, a lot of things. COVID scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, what doesn't
without a
scare
doubt.
me in real life? Real life is terrifying.
Yeah, really. I was definitely scared of that. All right. I'll bring up the bingo bongo up here. And there it is. That's the sound of me placing
When
the
did it get
object.
so heavy?
No, that's the
Same
same.
sound as always.
It's the same way it's always
Okay.
been. Man, I do it and I don't even realize it. Okay, let's roll this bad boy.
Are you rolling it? Taking a long time.
I
Taking a
don't
long time to
know.
roll.
Well, we can hear it, so yes.
Taking a long time to roll this time.
Okay, and there it is. So this one is number 553 billion.
Wow. We have a lot of suggestions.
And
at this point.
yeah, a lot of them.
Wow.
A lot of them. Okay, I didn't write the number on it.
That's
all right,
fine.
I'm just
You know,
grabbing
don't-
it. This one's just there's nothing on it. It's blank.
What?
Oh fuck.
Have they all
Blank.
been blank?
I
You've been
didn't-
gaslighting me with all these movies?
Yeah,
suggestions?
they've all been blank. I've been
Oh
gaslighting
my
you this whole
God.
time.
Oh my God.
We don't even have listeners.
Do we have a
I'm
Twitter
sorry.
where you get these
This is
suggestions? Are
just-
they just you?
there's not even a recording, dude.
Oh my
I'm
God.
sorry. This has all just been a game show, a prolonged Truman Show
What?
on
That's
you.
so
make you
silly.
think-
That's such a silly thing to do.
I just wanted to make you think your life had value.
Oh, man.
It was the ultimate gaslight.
That's so. I wish you would have kept it going. I feel kind of bad now.
Okay, then let's just keep it going.
Yeah, yeah.
So this one is number 53, and it is from the top 10 of anything
That's
podcast.
clearly made up.
Yeah, I think I know that one. That's the one where they take a random topic and then pick the top 10 of
that's
that
fun.
topic. Like, yeah, it's a fun one. So their suggestion is it's called Dead Meat on a Merry-Go-Round.
Okay.
Um,
That sounds good.
that would definitely get shortened by corporate
Yeah.
movie makers.
What if we just called
in
it
our
merry
dimension.
go round? No, we'll just go round. No, just merry.
What if we called it Meat On, or would that be too close to Meat Cube, the most popular movie in this dimension? And remember, kids, it's almost Halloween. Get your Meat Cube costumes ready. It takes a while to accrue all that beef and square it up.
It's hard. It's hard to get those angles right.
Beefheart. His name is Beefheart, and he is his own dad. Remember that, because you're gonna get a lot of
boy.
questions. Okay, so a group of youngsters go to a theme park for a Halloween theme night,
Ooh.
but little do they know that they are the stars of the horror rooms they venture through.
Horror rooms?
Can they survive the night?
Whoa.
Question mark? So that's the suggestion. So let's put on our bingo bongo spanners and
Are you
see
having a
if we
stroke?
can- Hey, let's all cribe it up. All right.
Let's
So just put these things
on.
on and flick.
That's a lot of blood. That's a lot of blood.
Okay,
You were
that's-
making
that's
some
enough of
you were
that.
making some noises that time. Did you notice that?
I didn't hear anything, and neither did you.
Are you okay? Well, did you still see the movie, or were you just stroking out the whole time?
What movie? We've never watched any.
This.
This is a submarine.
I'm turning my recording off. You can do the rest without me.
Okay, I've always done them myself. All right, so we just watched Dead Meat on a Merry-Go-Round.
Dead meat on a
And
merry-go-round.
This was spooky. This was spooky.
It was fun. I liked it. It was
This
a
one
fun,
was-
fun little horror movie. Fun little horror movie.
Yeah, would you say you watched this movie and enjoyed it?
Yes. That's a real question.
Weird.
Is that okay?
Cause same.
I don't understand. I don't know. I don't like the tone of what's happening right now.
Yes, you do.
I don't like it. I don't like the tone. I don't like the tone of what's happening.
So this movie follows like a bunch of kids, a group of youngsters, as they say in the description. So they go to this like local theme park that kind of remind me of Geauga Lake, which is our local theme park that got
Was our
bought out
local
by
thing.
Six Flags.
And now doesn't exist anymore. Thanks. Six
Now it doesn't
Flags.
exist. I've been in that area so much, and there's just I didn't even realize it was that area because there's just nothing there. And I'm
Are
like,
the
"Man, I used
remnants
to
of the
work."
coasters still there?
No, there's just nothing.
Oh, that's weird.
It's so painful
Yeah.
to me. I love that place.
Yeah, that place was great.
But yeah,
That's where I
There's
had
a
my
bunch of
first
kids.
kiss.
yeah, right.
No, I didn't. I was like 25 or something.
You're not even married yet. How have you had your first kiss? I don't buy it. I don't.
It was
buy
from.
it.
It was from Shamu, and Shamu kissed me on my lips.
Yeah. I would buy. See, you got greedy there because if you had said it was from one of the sea lions at the sea lion,
Oh yeah,
show,
they love kissing. Those sea lions.
they gave her. They had to be blindfold myself, and they said a pretty lady was coming up, and then I felt the wet kiss. Of
Everybody
the
laughed
sardine
at me.
smelling pretty lady.
They laughed.
Everyone was laughing, I assume, because of how horny they were at the situation. But when I uncovered my eyes, it was a dirty
a
sea
sea
lion
lion.
wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
And that's why I didn't get my first kiss till I was 25 because of that sea lion. It's humiliated me.
However, that was my first erection in public.
What are you supposed to do? Not get an erection when you get a kiss? Come on.
Strangely, I only became aroused after I knew it was a sea lion.
What are you gonna do?
But,
They're so playful and fun. They're fun loving.
have you ever been to one of these Halloween Horror Nights type events? By the way,
What did
These,
you call me?
Big theme park.
I've actually never been to a house spookaween, or they call them Cedar
Yeah,
Point
I've been
Spooktacular
kind of-
Spackleen Spook.
I've been kind of curious about going to one. I like the idea of going to like themed houses where you can like visit the Stranger Things.
Here's an interesting thing about me. I like horror movies. I hate haunted houses. They actually terrify the shit out of me.
Well, that's because you like being in control, and when you give your sense of control over to a bunch of teenagers and people who enjoy dressing up like monsters, it can be a little.
Well, that's fair because I worked in a haunted house when I was a teenager and I loved it because it was fun.
Really,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun time. Just people scared
Which
really.
haunted house did you work at?
The one in Hudson. The one right in Hudson. Yeah.
Where's that?
I don't know. It's in Hudson. It's like it was one of the only ones there, but it was fun. It was fun.
Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. I only went to one as a kid at Fun and Stuff, which is like a local like family fun center and arcade.
Yeah.
And it scared the bejesus
Yeah.
out of me, and I never went back.
They're not fun. I don't like them. I don't like being chased. Even though I know nothing's going to actually happen to me, I don't like flying on a plane either. So maybe you're right. Maybe it's about control.
I don't like flying either, but I find the entire experience of flying to be deeply uncomfortable because of the airport. I find the airport to be frustrating.
Yeah, they're constantly
for a
gaslighting
number
you,
of
saying your
ways.
plane's coming, and then it never comes.
It keeps telling me I have to buy a ticket to go somewhere.
Fucking
and it's just-
scam. It's a
like-
scam, dude. It's a scam.
It's like, thanks, Obama.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I think this is normal, right? Every time I'm in a plane, I look out the window and I think, so this is how it goes down.
Yeah, I think literally everybody on a plane is thinking how they're going to die the entire time. Unless they're
I
drunk.
don't think so. I think most people don't feel that way, but I do every time.
there's no
I'm
way.
like, if this is how I die, this is how I die. And statistically, you're much more likely to die in a car crash. But
Yeah, you
like,
maybe, not me. I'm going to die in an airplane. But think about when you hit
Well,
turbulence.
that's because you're constantly performing with the Big Bopper. also.
He's just so fucking talented. But think about like when you hit turbulence, and think about when people go, ah. A lot of people freak out when there's turbulence, and I think those people are all thinking about dying the whole time. And
That doesn't bother me that much. Turbulence doesn't bother
turbulence
me
doesn't
so
kill,
much as-
unfortunately. Did I say unfortunately?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you possibly could have meant there.
Unfortunately, turbulence doesn't kill because there'd be a lot less planes if it did.
Yeah. Your hatred of planes. This is all because Dane Cook beat you for that role.
No, I just
in
think
the
trains
Disney
are a
Pixar's
better
plan.
option. They're on the ground.
You
Nothing can
pitched-
stop a train.
You were pitching.
Nothing can stop
You were
a train.
pitching Pixar trains to John Lasseter,
I'm-
and he kept rubbing his body, his meaty hands all over you in his Hawaiian shirt, and it gave you this deeply uncomfortable erection because the last time a meaty, sweaty creature.
You
rubbed
you
their
look at
hands on you-
places like Japan where they have trains and it's high speed rail. Why don't we have it? You know,
Yeah, well, John Lasseter wanted a high-speed rail.
Okay, I don't want to talk about John Lasseter anymore, dude. Stop bringing it up. It wasn't a fun time.
I'm just saying, it reminded you of the Sea Lion because they both are constantly in flops.
It was also it was actually a similar show at SeaWorld, except it was John Lasseter who dressed up and then kissed me on my lips, which I didn't like.
Yeah, and he kept. Well, what's weird is he did perform the Shamu tricks too.
Yeah,
and he did the.
He's
he
really
did that
good.
thing dolphins do, where he sort of stood up in the water and kicked himself back. It
It's
was
impressive. It's impressive for a man to be able to do that.
Man,
There's a reason.
so he's still getting work.
Yeah, there's
so
a reason.
thanks cancel culture.
Yeah,
You did it
try again, cancel culture. Come on.
Yeah, I'm constantly scared of someone actually listening to this show and canceling us for a stupid show.
You like John
That's
Lasseter?
what I'm scared of. Just like John Lasseter. This show is the unwanted hug of podcasts.
I'm gonna put
But
that.
anyway,
we
back
should put that on the Twitter.
Yeah, put that on the Instagram.
The unwanted hug of podcasts.
So Dead Meat on a Merry-Go-Round. Basically, these kids, they're going to like a horror nights at an amusement park where it's like the park's open late, and everybody's dressed up like groovy ghoulies, I guess is what you guys call
Nobody
them.
would ever say that. But
And-
yeah, they're dressed up. They're all in costumes. Yeah, they're all in costumes.
Yeah, they're all groovy ghoulies. And everyone's like, I hope I don't get grabbed by the ghoulies. These ghoulies are too groovy.
It's not a 1950s movie.
Well, that's true, but I mean, I still think that parlance, is pretty common.
Anyway.
Is any parlance more common than the word parlance?
Oh,
I
boy.
doubt it.
I don't think so.
So these kids go to this thing, and it's like, yeah, they're basically being tormented the whole time, but they're also sort of being gaslit too, in a way, because they're never really sure how much of it is real and how much of it is fake. But yeah, it turns out there's like some people behind the scenes who are like sort of getting off, like almost like in Squid Game fashion.
Yep.
Like watching them.
Watching from behind the scenes and just, placing. Well, I think so. I think some of them place bets. Yeah, they were placing bets at some point.
And just masturbating furiously to their fear.
It's the thing about rich people is that normal roller coasters don't get them off. What gets them off is watching people die on roller coasters. That's what gets them off.
I mean, like they're not normal like us who get off real hard on roller coasters.
Well, I'm saying like a roller coaster for me is like that's pretty exciting. But if I had like $1 billion, that's not enough. A roller coaster, that's not a thrill. I could have.
Well,
my roller coaster.
I'm saying for me, it's like when I'm on a roller coaster, it's like watching 50 pornos at once.
Are you saying
It's
you
like-
you get on a roller coaster and you ejaculate?
It's like watching all of Barbed Wire 50 times in the goggles.
That sounds
once.
terrible.
Why? That movie's hot based on the poster and the VHS
It's just
cover.
not
I've seen a lot.
I've seen it. It's not a good movie. It's not a good movie. In spite of
It's
Pamela
no
Anderson
Tank Girl, but
being a beautiful lady, it's just not a. It's not a good movie.
wow!
What?
Yikes! Keep it in the pants there.
I just said
Thirst
she's an
Patrol.
attractive lady. She's not. She's.
I just got the invite to your wedding canceled. Jeez.
First of all,
Yikes.
it's a save the date, so the invitation might not come. Just so
It's
you
a
know.
what?
Save the date. It's what you send before the invitation.
Ugh, this is exhausting.
It's an adult thing. It's an adult thing. Maybe you would know about if you would.
I know
stop.
adult things. I've seen Barbed Wire. Okay.
I snuck down to my basement and I watched it while my parents were asleep. And they said, "Are you
Well, my
watching
parents
Barbed
were
Wire?"
arguing about whether or not I was allowed to see Barbed Wire.
They said I wasn't, but I showed them. I watched it anyway. And it is the plot is terrible. It makes no sense. It's just not a
They said my mom was actually in favor of it because she's like, at least it's not that Bowsette he's constantly drawing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this wasn't when you were a kid. This was the past.
This was 45 minutes ago, goddammit.
Right before we recorded the podcast. I don't think you should watch Barbed Wire. He's 35 years old. He can do what he wants. Yeah. What can you do?
Yeah, I mean, I'll get to watch it sooner or later.
One of these days. They gotta sleep sometime.
I gotta sleep sometime. I'm watching you, old man.
Oh boy.
So-
boy. So these groovy ghoulies, they're ghouling around the old ghoul house.
Yeah, they're getting grabbed by these ghoulies, and like, I mean, what can you say about this crew of misfits? I mean, it's just like, I will say that this horror movie did do the thing. We should give it credit that, like, in most of these movies, these horror movies we've watched, there's only like 4 kids in the group, but in this group there is. I mean, they kind of get away with it because it's like the class. It's like their grad night thing or something. But like, or I guess it's not grad night, but it's like senior year. Because it's Halloween, it can't be grad night.
I don't know what,
but like
senior prom thing. I don't know. It wasn't a prom thing though. It was just like
I guess it's just like senior fright night or something. I don't know. Like, but it's clearly like. Everyone from their class is going.
There's like 60 or 70 kids?
Well, yeah, I mean the place is packed with all sorts of kids and people going to this event, but it's like for whatever reason, unbeknownst to us in the beginning of this movie, it's like this group, but this group is like it's almost like the entire homeroom is our core group of heroes, just so we can kill off
so many kids. I mean,
so many people.
Yeah. I don't know.
And speaking of the the roller coaster thing, I mean, like, it's like, they did take a lot of stuff that felt like...
That was just the scene from what's that movie where they
Final Destination.
Yeah, it was just
3,
that scene.
right?
Yeah, it was like they killed half the kids on that roller coaster in that scene.
Well, they did do something that I liked, which was... I spent a lot of time in amusement parks because we lived right nearby one, and... I must have gone on the old rickety roller coaster a billion times. I forget what it was called.
It was called the Big Dipper.
Wolf Jack Falls.
Oh yeah, There was a Big Dipper, and then there was Wolf Jack Falls.
Raging Wolf Bobs or something.
Raging
like that?
Wolf Bobs is actually what it was called. Yes, that's actually real. Yeah,
is that right?
That's right.
Yeah. Something like that, and I just remember every time they would come back from the thing, whoever was running the ride would always have this, like, you know how, like, pilots or arch enemies always have that tone? Like, it's like theme park...
Thanks for riding.
Yes. Theme park employees always have that same timbre, too, for whatever reason.
Leave your hands aside of me. Thanks for riding.
And like, they would always be like, "Welcome back, riders."
That was
every single time.
That was a good roller coaster. I recall. That was a pretty good one.
Oh yeah, I love the old rickety ones. That one, and it was just tucked away back there, so you could go on it over and over.
Yeah.
And over.
There was never a line on that one. It was cool.
Yeah, because it was like harder to find because it wasn't like Disneyland where it was like everything was like clearly laid out in a way.
Yeah,
it was just sort of like the space for it is here. So
there's no Raging Wolf Bob movie that people were dying to write it or something.
Although it was kind of like the Beast, that R.L. Stein thing.
Oh yeah,
and this whole thing sort of had an R.L. Stein vibe of like Horrorland.
Yeah. It was I mean, except for like the dismemberment of the teens on the roller coaster, that was pretty gruesome.
Well, that's what I wanted to say. I liked that scene. I thought it was funny when the kids come back from the ride, and it's like, or at least one of the coasters, they show you the kids leaving, and then they come back and they're just all headless.
Yeah. That was fun.
You know, in the thing, and he's just like, "Whoa,
they do that."
Back rider.
Oh, yeah, he still does it, and then that one girl screams, and he goes, "Oh no!"
Right? Yeah, because he's like it's like typical blasé 17-year-old attendant. He's just like not even paying attention to what's going on.
But I think I liked it because literally, like, everybody there is in on it at some point to like some degree, even if they don't know that they're like a patsy. Like that kid, he's like, he didn't know he was a patsy. He's just like, yeah, there's this group of kids. We'll pay you a couple $100 to screw with them. It's fucking cool.
Well, yeah, it's like there's like this. what was that movie, Cabin in the Woods, where it's like
Yeah.
there's people betting behind the scenes. It's like that in Squid Game, where it's like there's this. It's not like a cult because there's no like religious.
It's just rich people
whatever.
being richers,
Right.
riching up on the old
But
rich
I mean,
town.
I don't even know how rich they are necessarily. It seems like they're just like.
So you think maybe you know what I was thinking? Like there were 6 of them. Are they like? Do they represent the 6 flags? Like, is that what it was supposed to be?
They actually represent. That's why one of them was that old bald man with glasses who would constantly dance. And go, da, 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 da,
That
da,
guy. Speaking
da,
of
da,
nightmares,
da.
that guy gave me nightmares.
Yeah, and he tap dances on one of the kids in this movie to death.
Yeah, he tapped
It's
it
just
on to death. And that's weird because that was Cedar Point, I believe. So I think they borrowed him from Cedar Point just to commit murder here.
Wait, what?
Wait, was it Six Flags? Was that the Six Flags guy?
That was Six Flags.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because his name was Mr. Six.
Oh, really? Wow.
More flags, more fun.
Oh yeah, you're right. You blew my mind. Sorry. We'll edit that out.
I listened to a lot of podcasts to ride.
Edit that out.
No, that stays in.
No, I don't want people to think
Actually, you didn't make any mistakes.
I did. I said it was from Cedar Point, and that's incorrect.
Cedar Point's pretty good too. We had a lot of good amusement parks in Ohio.
And nothing else to do except go to amusement parks and kiss sea lions.
And pretend you're from the South, even though you're very clearly in the North, and just slowly give in to fascism.
Dude, I saw so many fucking stupid Confederate flags in Columbus, Ohio. It made me so mad every time. It's like, you're in the wrong state. You get your history
you were
right.
Never part
You
of
were
the
never
Confederacy.
part of the Confederacy, you lunatic.
At no point were you ever part of the
It's
Confederacy.
like, okay, I don't condone it, but in the South, at least, like, well, you're in the South, so at least it's like you're in the right place. But like in Ohio, it's like, what are you doing, you stupid idiots?
Okay, I have a physics question about the kill on the merry-go-round.
Dead meat
Because,
on the merry-go-round when you know you're not around.
Yeah.
By the White Stripes.
Dead meat on the merry-go-round, and you know you're not
a good song.
around. Yeah, that's a good reference. I love that. Yeah, so they sort of, it felt like the bit on The Simpsons where they're doing the classic Batman show, and he spins Krusty as the villain spins the merry-go-round super fast.
Yeah.
But like in this one, it's the kids are like strapped to the merry-go-round.
Well, the spikes shoot up out of the horses so they can't escape.
Right. They go straight into their buttholes.
Which
So
nobody
it's like they're
nobody
those guys who
appreciates
play
that.
chess.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I guess that's why they're the meat puppets, because they've got these spikes up their butts. But what's interesting is that it's not like super fast all of a sudden. It's like it's like slowly increasing in speed with every rotation, like 1 mile per hour.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
like,
they kept cutting back to it. It took a while for them to actually get up to speed, it seemed like.
But then by like the 3/4 point of the movie, it eventually gets too fast and everyone's skin flies off.
That was cool. That was a cool effect. Yeah.
And so it's just like organs and skeletons riding the things, and they're screaming as they're like still alive, but they're just like guts and stuff. That was pretty cool.
That was cool. And those people, and then the rich people are like, ha ha ha, they lost their skin there, which that's not, they should have said it for the roller coaster. They should have said, they lost their heads there, but they didn't. It was kind of weird.
That's not a good way to lose your head.
Yeah, they should have said it there. So, whatever.
So what did you think about them kind of, like, we're definitely following, like, a core group of people, but, like, it's also a lot of vignettes where it's just, like, it's like a mad world of, like,
it seems like
we meet these people and then they get ripped apart.
Yeah,
and,
like, by the end,
different
it's down to, like,
circumstance.
the nerdy kid and the cheerleader, and then, like, the jock, and then just, like, Rando Randerson.
What do you think about them trying to like shoehorn in the thing with like the kid's brother is one of the bad guys, where it's like he's like, oh, it's like, yeah, the reason I wanted to do this is to teach you. It felt like really
it felt
weird.
Forced, and it felt a little forced, and because it's like what, you're suddenly against your brother for a couple $1,000s. It's like, I don't understand.
But yeah, it doesn't make sense, and it was like, and they sort of split it both ways, where he's like, yeah, it's like it's like he's jealous, like he's like the creepy older brother who's jealous of how popular his little brother is.
Like, bro, it's high school. Nobody cares.
Yeah, but he did sort of have that thing of like that creepy older kid.
He was
like,
mad he was working at the
7-Eleven.
He was, I think he was like mad he was working at the theme park and stuff still at
Right. And he was like
but...
one of the dudes. And that's the thing. It's like some of the people in it are like local business magnates. Like one of them is the mayor of the town.
Yeah.
I think. And it's like, so there are rich people doing it, but it's also like, it felt a lot more sleazy.
Yeah. It's
like, I guess Squid Game is sleazy too, but like,
well,
like
those are like
Sizzlack
uber
sleazy.
rich people. Yeah. Like you said, it's like the mayor of the town and like the guy that owns like the Ace Hardware. It's like,
yeah. It's like important people in the town, but not necessarily all of them.
It's kind of insane that they put this together, actually, considering they're probably a couple millionaires, but they're not billionaires by any sense.
Well, I mean, a lot of it, I think, is reliant on how dangerous theme parks are naturally, too.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, with enough carny level negligence, people are gonna get.
Yeah,
I mean, Fabio got hit in the face with a bird. I mean, shit happens.
You can't stop birds. That's one thing I learned from movie.
You can't stop nature.
Movie Birds is that you can't stop birds.
But yeah, it felt like he's like, I'm jealous of you, so I'm going to kill all of your friends. But also, if you want to join us, that'd be cool too.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
You just killed all my friends, you're not I don't consider you my brother anymore, you jerk.
Yeah. He's a kind of an interesting character, but again, they don't really introduce him.
Not, like you said, it's not justified. Yeah. It's just like a surprise later.
It's not earned.
Yeah.
It's like, if that character had been in from the beginning and we had been establishing him, and maybe
they make fun of him. They make fun of him. Like somebody makes fun of him to Kyle. They make fun of Kyle's brother to his face like once, and then it's like, but that's it. That's the only time they mention it.
But yeah, that's like in the first 15 minutes before they even get to the park, and they're like, "What are you kids doing?" Like it's missing a rewrite where it's like, the brother should be there with them as like the chaperone. Yeah, so it's like,
this reveal is bigger.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it matters more.
Yeah. Well,
and it should be some twisted thing where he's like actually in love with his own brother.
Whoa, that'd be good.
Shit like that.
That'd be good.
Yeah, some sleepaway camp level, like fucked up.
Yeah, sleepaway camp's cool.
So yeah, that's like a little bit disappointing. But in general, I liked all the different uses of
theme park murder.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like, there's another good sequence where it's like a group of kids go into like, a typical haunted house where it's like a walkthrough.
Yeah.
And just like each of them just gets grabbed by someone into the darkness. And like the last remaining kid is just covered in blood, and he's just like walking out of the thing alone. And he's like, "Oh, well, that was that was really realistic."
Those other kids are like, "Wow, this place looks awesome," and then they go in.
Yeah, it just keeps happening. I mean, there were funny moments like that. Like it wasn't, but it didn't have a strong thread of like continuity.
When you try to make a bigger world like Cabin in the Woods, you sort of like, you need to start from the beginning like Cabin in the Woods does. This is just like they threw it into the end, and it doesn't necessarily it is, like you said, it's not justified or earned. So it's just like, I appreciate the movie for like the fun kills, but trying to do a bigger plot was kind of silly. Like you should just let it be what it is.
And then like the B plot of the movie is like, weirdly enough, is like almost a inverted take on Ferris Bueller, where it's like the principal is like not invited to this event.
Oh yeah, he's so sad about it. He's so salty about it.
And he's so sad, but he's like suspicious. He's the only one. He's slowly going about his night and getting hints of the conspiracy at hand. And so he keeps trying to break into the amusement park, but because he's so hands-on, everyone knows. It's like another weird but kind of funny plot line where it's like, I almost wish he was the protagonist because I love him and his little mustache. And
did you like all of his costume changes where he kept trying to put on a different?
He kept trying to break in, and he keeps trying to be like, "Oh, I'm a filthy mummy." just like our
I'm
listeners.
a filthy, dirty mummy. It's like, you're not.
I'm a
You're not.
spooky
You're Principal
mummy.
Sanders. We can recognize you, Principal Sanders. You're just wearing some toilet.
No, I'm not that handsome gent. I am a different.
Yeah, you can
man.
put it on
You're
an
like, "Get the
accent.
fuck
You
outta
can put
here."
it on an accent that didn't match his costume. That was fun.
Yeah, I mean, why was he a southern mummy?
Hello, I'm
make
just
sense.
a jolly old vampire, I is. From Great Britain, where all the vampires live.
He was a great character, and I don't understand why he wasn't the protagonist of the movie. But I guess they refused to lean too far into it just being pure comedy.
Yeah.
But
They
the
should have
best
made it
parts
comedy.
of it
was,
were
yeah,
the
yeah,
comedy. So it's like, because it wasn't scary, it was eerie. I thought it was shot well. Like there's
Some
a
of
lot
the
of
some of the
really
body
cool-
horror, I mean, practical effects were cool. Like the skinning of the people was kind of cool. But yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, I liked when they did close-ups of like, oh, they're like pulsating organs and like prostate. But again, a lot of that was like cool, like practical stuff,
Yeah.
right? So I liked that, but I liked just the mise en scène.
Oh yeah,
Of
mise en
the,
scène, CCC.
I
mean, oui. Sorry, I'm trilingual, so it's hard for me to go in and out.
Try harder.
Oh,
Yikes.
punta.
I liked the moonlit, creepy wooden roller coaster.
Yeah, mise en scène. I know what that means.
No, you don't. You got no idea. You gotta,
The
you gotta know
mise
when
en sense, the sense of mise en.
So I just liked the way it looked, and I am a sucker for theme parks.
I'm a sucker for spooky theme parks, and I think it is because of that one R.L. Stein book. I think it's because of Welcome to Wonderland.
Yeah, I like that, and I like the Beast too, even though that book wasn't scary either.
Weren't there like 3 beasts? Isn't there like a lot of them?
Yes. And that one was not even that interesting because it was just like time travel. It's like they go back to the 50s. It's another one of those like 1950s. But yeah, I think there's some fun stuff to be had, and I do like this genre of scary theme parks. But yeah, I think one thing that was really weird was like the dance sequence where they're like trying to do Thriller, but it's not really Thriller. It's just like Thriller adjacent. And I couldn't tell. It was like, again, they're trying to split the difference between like, okay, is this supposed to be a parody of this kind of event, like the spooky show at like a Beetlejuice rock and roll show at an amusement park at like Universal? Or is this supposed to be cool, and are we supposed to like this?
Yeah.
Are we supposed to like these like zombies dancing?
Oh, it's cool. These zombies are dancing. It's cool. They're dancing to like a hip hop song. That's cool.
Because the kids are all into it. Like, and it's just like, based on what we
cool.
know about teenagers. But like the lyrics are not cool. I feel like the lyrics in Zombie Guitar were cool. It's just like,
don't listen to your mommy. I'm a zombie. Fuck the system.
Yeah.
Let's keep listening.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Shake your rump. Do the zombie bump.
Yeah.
Like, what does this mean?
It's cool.
What is?
It was like a
It
cross
just felt
between
like-
Rage Against the Machine and like the nicest 1950s like two white guys with a guitar. I want to hold
We're
your
all
hand
spooky.
thing.
Don't play hooky.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, I thought it was
mean-
cool, but again, maybe I'm a
Yeah,
loser.
but yeah, I think that's it's the fact that this, it's like Thriller is like it is a. I mean, say what you will about Michael Jackson, a famed pedophile, but Thriller is a meticulously crafted dance and video.
It's still
effort,
silly though.
you
It's
know,
still
like-
a little silly.
No, it's silly, but it's like it's like choreographed really well.
Yeah.
Whereas this is just like, it felt like someone who saw the hand jive one time was like, here's all the dance moves I can think of to round out this 3-minute sequence. like in unison. Like there's no rhyme or reason for it. It's just zombies like shaking their butts and like spinning around and doing the Macarena and shit. And like a bunch of kids standing by being like, whoa, killer.
Well,
this
how
is
are they
sick.
doing that? Well, they hate the system too. Well, I hate the
Do
system.
you think we can learn how to do this dance? Let's do the zombie shake.
Yeah, then they did.
It's
Then
just
they
like,
all. Then they
why
joined
is
in.
this?
Like the main characters joined in. Well, the main characters. I did air quotes. It was cool.
But like,
I think it was cool. So, well, you know what?
you liked it?
Yeah.
Let's see you do it now. I can. Whoa, he's really
I'm doing
doing
it.
it. I
Here
can't
I go.
believe. Oh.
Shake my zombie rump.
Wow, his clothes came off real fast.
Whoa. I hate authority.
I knew it.
Yeah.
You are one of those punk ass libertarians.
See, that's what I was
I've heard
thinking.
so
Maybe
much
it's
about.
like maybe they hate authority, and that's like the authority is like the mayor and the Ace Hardware guy, and maybe that's like why they're killing him, because these teens don't respect authority.
Yeah.
It's just like small town cop
It's like
taking
the
to
most
the 12th,
formulaic.
12th degree. I have authority. You won't respect my authority. It's just Cartman.
Because like it's not like these kids. I mean, again, it's a wide. It's like an entire fucking like
You
homeroom
invited them.
and like
You didn't have to invite these kids for their like.
yeah, and also it's like you're rebelling against. They're rebelling. The adults are rebelling against the idea of teenagedom.
It's funny.
Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like. And it's also like his brother is like what 24 or
It's
something. Like he's
fucking
not that far
fucking
off.
boomers, man. Fucking 24-year-old boomers out there just taking, just can't get over how cool we are.
These fucking Gen X 24-year-olds
It's like
with their
get
boomer
it.
mentalities.
World War II ended and
Always
you had all the
playing-
money. Good for you. Get over it.
Get over
Get over
yourselves.
it. Get over it. We're here to stay. We're gonna do the zombie dance. It's cool.
I was kind of annoyed at like when the halfway point comes and they kill the principal, because I was just like,
I thought I was gonna
want-
save the day.
with-
I thought I was gonna save the day for sure at some point.
Without him in the movie, it's just like
Yeah,
frustrating.
it's not as fun.
You know, and I think that's again why the third act, it's like, oh, this is what we're building to. Like
the brother
It's
was the bad guy, sort of, kind of.
yeah, but then they're like, also the mayor's really bad too. It's just like, just pick one. Just pick one of these guys,
And it's like
make it.
So they get away with it. I didn't understand. They like, are they the mayor gets away and some of them don't get away? I was a little confused towards the end. Like,
Yeah, it felt like they were setting it up for a sequel.
Yeah.
Like they were trying for a purge thing, I think, because they were
Yeah.
like, can't wait till next year. Because like the only one who survives is Kyle.
Yeah.
And he's like in a cage captured by his brother.
right. And he's like,
And they're like,
they put him in the haunted house, and he just yells that he's trapped, and people are like, oh, he's doing a really good job.
yeah. That's like the yeah. It's because they cut to the next day, or not even the next day. I think it's like a month later, and he's like starving in the cage.
Whoa.
And he's like basically a skeleton
Help
himself.
me.
And
Look, honey,
and
an
they're
actor.
like, whoa.
These actors are
Wow,
starving.
I didn't know Kyle got a job here. Hey, Kyle, it's me, Kyle. Save me. Yep, he sure is method,
He's
all
doing
right.
good. He's doing a good job. Where's the rest of my class? Where's all those kids that I went to school with? I wonder.
Also, the principal.
Also, the principal.
Oh, it's a good thing the police chief is part of the conspiracy.
Oh, he said
that
it
we
was a
also
gas
acknowledge.
leak in the old zombie dance facility. That's
No,
it.
it wasn't. There wasn't any gas leaking. There's never been gas leaking on this show.
there was a
I
gas
hate
li-
gas leaking, and so do you.
There was a gas light in the old auditorium.
My favorite place in San Diego.
They
is the
did. They
gas
gaslit the
leak.
entire community by saying these kids died from a gas leak. That's really ironic.
Yeah. Yes, the gas was outdoors as well.
Oh,
In
jeez.
this outdoor ventilated area.
What are you gonna do? Not accept what the mayor said? He's the mayor. Of course, he's an authority figure.
I'm the mayor's aide. That's whose. So what would you rate this movie out of 50 raging wolf bobs?
Oh,
or
I give
whatever?
it. Sorry, I was gonna do it. I give it 7 groovy ghoulies, but you can do your own system if you want.
Ooh,
you can do Raging Wolf
7
Bobs.
groovy ghoulies.
Yeah.
That's good. I like the vibe of this movie, but yeah, I wish there was a
The
more
vibe was
coherent
good.
plot.
Execution not as stellar, but still.
Yeah, it's. I think like script wise, it felt like a Roland Emmerich movie where it's like you wrote this in a fucking weekend and just never did another draft.
Yeah, Yeah, Roland Emmerich fucking rules, dude.
I mean, in terms of scamming, sure, yeah, that's
he's
pretty
cool.
clever.
He's cool.
But I would love a version of this with a more coherent central plot, because it felt like they were trying to do a Final Destination thing, not just in terms of ripping off 3, but just like in terms of it being more about the kills than it was about the.
See, I love Final
central
Destinations
story.
because the enemy is death, which is the scariest enemy.
Right. I mean, Final Destination 2 is especially a really fun movie,
yeah.
but like, but again, at least I felt like that has more of like a central thrust than even this did.
Yep.
This felt like we were hopping around so much between each of these kids that are just being set up
To die. Yeah.
and we don't care about any of them because we're hopping around too much. Like, again, the person I care about most is this principal who, like, it's almost like they didn't expect the actor to be so lovable because he's not written in a particularly interesting way, but like performance wise, he's so likable that you're like, why did you waste?
kill him?
You should have just rewritten on the fly, kept him around, had him save the day or whatever, because that would have been better. All right, so that's the beginning of our Halloweeny.
Only what 9 more weeks of this, and then we're back to normal movies.
Yeah. Spooky more, and spooky less.
We gotta get a name
Made up
struck
movies.
down. Made up scare town. Made up scare move.
Yeah, made up ghoulies.
Made up ghoulies. That's not bad. That's actually not bad at all. All right.
If you've got a groovy ghoulie to send our way, go on to @MadeUpMoviesPod on Twitter and submit that ghoulie our way. But yeah, that'll be all for us for this week. So get out of here, you crazy kids. Go out to the theme park, but watch out for mummies. All right, bye-bye.